Addison State Bank was organized by a group of Addison businessmen, including George A. Fisher, E. Rodermond, George C. Maston, F. B. Newell, and H. A. Overcamp. The bank opened in November of 1902 with George Fisher as president and his nephew Edwin as the cashier. The bank was housed in a modest brick building at 32 East Lake Street. In October of 1913, the bank was robbed. A robber wearing a car coat and a white handkerchief over his face and a gun in hand demanded that the bank cashier hand over the bank's money. Fisher gave the robber $125, but the robber demanded more. Fisher told the robber he would have to go to the bank vault to get the additional cash. Upon entering the vault, Fisher slammed the vault door closed, locking him and the cash inside. As the robber was about to give up and leave, the assistant cashier, Edward Roderman, returned to the bank. The men grappled and Roderman was shot in the chest. The robber escaped to a waiting getaway car and sped away towards Elmhurst. Attempts to follow and find the robbers failed. Roderman died of his wound later that evening. Contemporaneous newspaper accounts indicated that at least 3 people were suspected of the crime, but it remains unclear whether any of these suspects were actually convicted of the crime. In 1923, Ernest Miesler became the cashier of the bank. In April 1928, the bank was robbed again. 3 youthful bandits with guns forced Miesler to go to the vault and hand over $1,600 in cash. They escaped in a battered Ford touring car and were never apprehended. In the Chicago magazine published in 1930, which featured Addison, the bank is said to have capital surplus and profits of $33,000 and a large number of depositors in a rich territory covering a wide radius. This account may have painted an overly rosy picture, however, as another historic account provided by former Mayor Eggerding indicates that the bank actually was forced to close in 1929 due to the Depression, and that it reopened in 1933 with the help of investment by Addison residents. Ernest Miesler continued his role as cashier at the bank until 1956, when he was appointed president and chairman of the bank. The bank continued operations at the Lake Street location until April 1958, when rapid growth in Addison made new quarters advisable. The bank's new location at 205 North Addison Road featured, quote, modern automated facilities and provided, quote, efficient, courteous service. The old bank building later became the Carousel Beauty Salon. It was raised in 1977 to make way for J.C. Plaza. The Addison State Bank was Addison's only bank until 1961, with the opening of the Addison Township Savings and Loan. It was the first bank in DuPage County to have electronic bookkeeping done on its own premises. By 1981, the bank featured an 8-lane drive at its main location, and a new facility was built at 1100 West Lake Street. By 1987, the Lake Street facility became the main bank and the Addison Road location the branch. In 1991, the bank was renamed Oxford Bank and Trust when it purchased a bank in Romeoville, which it later sold. In 2004, Oxford built a new location at 1520 West Lake Street in Addison's entertainment corridor. Corporate offices were located at the 1100 West Lake Street location. The bank also had branches in Westmont, Plainfield, and 2 branches in Naperville. Also in 2004, Oxford Bank donated a bank counter to the Historical Museum for the creation of a diorama of the Addison State Bank. It is featured in the museum's coach house. By 2009, the bank's corporate headquarters had moved to Oak Brook. Today, the bank still has 2 Addison locations at 1520 West Lake and 205 South Addison Road, in addition to its other suburban locations. You can learn more about the history of Addison by visiting the Addison Historical Museum. The museum is open Wednesday and Fridays from noon to 4. Admission is free.